That was a damn good press conference. Their best yet. Definitely. Crazy mother. Hello everyone, how's it going? Liban Ali. We're back again with some more thoughts on this week's E3 press conferences. Today we'll be looking at Xbox. Their press conference or media briefing ended not too long ago, and they had a ton to show. They had so many games. It took me a while to wrap my head around it, and the variety and impact of each one was so different. It was amazing. Some of them in particular were slightly leaked ahead of time, so we knew they were coming obviously, but we didn't know what they were going to look like or what they were actually going to show. Some of them were games that have already been released and getting DLC updates, and some that are upcoming that have been shown in yesterday's conference, hence Battlefield 5. Unlike yesterday's video, I won't go through everyone, but perhaps the ones that stood out to me or gave me the best kind of reaction, because simply there's just way too many. Of course, just to run through things very quickly, we did of course get the announcement of a new Halo game, Halo Infinite, with the official announcement trailer. I personally never owned an Xbox, so I've never played a Halo title properly, but it looks like the environment you're going back to is one that's going to be very familiar to fans of the series, so do keep an eye out for that. Shadows Die Twice finally got shown for us. The full name of the game is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It's actually of course still being made by From Software, but being published by Activision. I thought it was okay, a little bit of left field, but I doubt they have much to do with it overall. It gave me a good kind of feel of Dark Souls / Neo. Combat looked really cool, the way you traverse the environment looked really cool as well. After that, of course, we had Fallout 76, a little bit of gameplay, didn't really give me much of an idea of what was happening there. Captain Spirit followed that. That's a new game from Don't Nod Entertainment. You may remember those guys as the team that did Life is Strange. It's set in the same universe as well, which is pretty exciting. Essentially, it's just about a young kid's imagination and using their imagination to pretend they're essentially a superhero. Really interesting trailer. I do suggest checking that one out in particular. Crackdown 3, not much to really say. The game has been delayed again, as some of you might already know. That's coming out next year now. They just showed a bit more gameplay pieces. Nier Automata is getting the Gods Edition. Metro Exodus, that of course for you know that's been delayed until next year as well. And Kingdom Hearts 3, we got the E3 2018 Frozen trailer. I love how on point their recreation of these Disney worlds are, because it looks exactly as if I was watching the film itself, which is really cool. We definitely will be getting more Kingdom Hearts stuff in the Square Enix conference tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, the game is releasing in January next year. It's quite a while away now, but at the very least you get a solid release date now, and we're just going towards that overall. Sea of Thieves content update. Battlefield 5, you may remember from the EA conference yesterday, they mentioned having a little bit more on the stories aspect. They practically showed maybe a tiny bit more footage, so nothing to really have a look at overall, but those of you who are big Battlefield fans, it may interest you in that matter. Forza Horizon 4 looked really cool, open world aspect. All the players in the game will be in the same game at the same time, which I have no idea how they're going to pull that off, but it looked really cool overall. We Happy Few popped up again as well. This time we got a story trailer. I know a lot of people weren't too happy with the early access part of it, but this time it looks like they put a lot more work into it. They pretty much disappeared for a year, and it definitely showed why in that trailer, so do check that out as well. PUBG is getting some updates in regards to war mode. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition is coming through as well. That hasn't been available to the West for a long time, but it is coming now. We also got gameplay walkthrough on The Division 2. It looks, I wouldn't say aesthetically it looks different, but the environment aspect looks very different to the original Division. not only in a sense of where you are at the time, but also they changed it to summer essentially this time. So heat, lots of kind of like dry, humid looking places, and we essentially just got a walkthrough where several players were playing together and chatting and completing a mission. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we got a nice little story trailer. It was pretty cool. A game now that was, of course, rumored to be shown. We weren't sure which conference it would be showing at, but ended up in Xboxes was Devil May Cry 5. So it looked like Nero is front and center. It looks like he's also gotten a character update as well, slightly changed design. We've also got a female character with him. Obviously we don't know her name. Some of the enemies look like they've been given redesigns as well, and we've got a small shot of Dante at the end of the trailer as well, looking very different. Dante with a beard. It looked like to me Dante cross Geralt of Rivia. But do check that out. Of course, following that, we got a small look at, well, I say a small look, but basically just a title that Battletoads is a thing and will be coming out next year. Gears of War 5 was finally announced, a cinematic trailer to go along with it. It looks like you may be able to play as several of the characters. The team was split up in two, one going to one end, one heading to the other. So that looks pretty interesting as well. There are a few more other Gears of War stuff. Actually, before they even showed the main Gears of War 5, they had Gears Pop. I'm not quite sure where they were going with this. It was so weird. I could only imagine how much air would have been sucked out of the room if Gears Pop was the only Gears related game that would have been shown. But thankfully it wasn't. Session was quite interesting. As the trailer started, it made me believe that they were bringing a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. It is still a skateboarding game, but it's called Session instead by Creature Studios. It looked pretty cool. We had just a small trailer, getting a few tricks done, nothing too gameplay heavy, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. Tunic reminded me a lot of The Legend of Zelda, just in regards to its style. Even the main character, which is a tiny fox, was wearing a green tunic. The combat mechanics looked really cool. Defending, dodging, it looked very stylish. It looked really cool to pull off as well. So definitely check that out. We also had a montage of the Idea Xbox games. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there was a bunch to show, and it just enhanced the conference even further because of the variety that was available overall. Cuphead's getting some more DLC and a new character as well to go along with that. One of the games that took me back slightly because I wasn't sure what I was looking at is one called Jump Force. So it's a game from Japan, and essentially it features basically, if you just think J-Stars, that's essentially Jump Force. So it all started with a trailer. I saw the One Piece ship, the Sunny Go, and I thought for a moment that I was looking at One Piece World Seeker. I was like, okay, cool, so One Piece World Seeker. Then all of a sudden we saw Naruto on top of a tower, Luffy shows up, Goku walks in on screen, and at the end of the trailer we see Death Note cameo. So that was really, I've got really taken aback with that. It looked really cool as well. And we also got an announcement gameplay trailer for Just 4. More explosion, more boom, more crash, more bang, in much higher quality now. Didn't give us any look at the actual campaign or story or what's going on this time, but it's essentially Just Cause just bringing up the level every single time. Now, my game for this show in particular, and the one I was looking forward to really seeing more of, and that was revealed at the end in the coolest way possible, is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, they showed up. It showed up on stage, cutting off Phil, Xbox head, and going toward this like hacking data look. And it just reminds me so much of the worlds of Blade Runner, Cyber, the futuristic. It looked really cool. It just gave us a real proper look at the world they were trying to build overall. We had a look at the main character that I believe we'll be playing. I don't remember his name, unless they didn't actually mention the name. He had he had a jacket with a collar that really stuck out, that had LEDs on it, so the logo on his back was glowing, which was really slick. And he had this like Knight Rider looking car as well. So it looks like he's just the guy that's a rebel, always against the law. And yeah, that was probably one of the coolest things I saw as part of the Xbox conference. Overall, just to wrap this up, there was a lot that was shown at Microsoft's conference. Hands down, their best performance in terms of an E3 conference so far. They had a ton to show. They showed a big variety. They had so many surprises in there as well. They had so many world premieres, games I didn't even know were coming out. And to top it all off, Cyberpunk 2077 just looked amazing. I mean, by the end of it, I was sweating. I was like, woo! I was like, whew, well done. But oh, and of course I've got to mention they did acquire 5 new studios as well, so the future of Xbox is looking bright, guys. Especially leading into E3, we weren't sure what's going to happen with Xbox, especially as so many first party exclusives were just disappearing. But yeah, congrats to Xbox. If I were to grade your press conference, I'm just going to give you an A. Let me just give you an A. You did amazingly this year. I'd be surprised if any of the following press conferences do any better. The Sony, the Nintendo, the Square Enix, the Bethesda, which is happening later tonight. But that's everything in regards to Microsoft's. If you saw the conference, what did you think? What was your favorite games from it? Let me know down in the comments below, or you could tweet me on Twitter at the Liban Ali. Always happy to chat about video games, movies, tech, food, TV shows, comics, etc. If you enjoyed the video itself, do like and do subscribe to the channel. I will be doing these as every conference does finish and getting them out as quick as I can. Just giving you my thoughts on them overall. You can follow me on Instagram if you'd like at @_Liban. And you could also do follow me over on Twitch. I do stream 3 times a week, twitch.tv/the Liban Ali. And the next stream will be happening this coming Saturday overall. So again, well done Microsoft. I don't see anyone beating it at the moment. But regardless of, in this case, not trying to make any comparisons, it was your best showing ever, and they should be proud of that. You're getting an A from me. So Bethesda's next. We'll have another video up soon for that as well. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll be chatting about Bethesda once that's done. Peace.